Good evening, all of you. This is Veer Maheshwar Charitable Trust Latur, Maharashtra, running daily international webinar series. And in this series, we are listening daily various resource persons from all over India, and few are invited from abroad also. Daily, we are listening new topics as per the schedule given by our choice, topics of choices selected by our resource person. So I welcome today's resource person, Mrs. Priyanjana Ghosh Madam, who is founder and director of Biozone Academy, Kolkata.
Thank you, sir.
It's
Thank
an
you.
emergency, so that I today I only requested and she accepted our invitation and joined here. I welcome you, ma'am, and all the participants who are joined here. You can first introduce yourself about your career, about your academy, then you can start off the topic. Thank you.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank for this opportunity, Dr. Betkar, sir. It's a great honor for me to share some thoughts about today's topic, which is about teaching models. And it's been a definitely, I want to, my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Betkar, sir. Yeah, my scheduled speech was supposed to be on 22nd of September, supposedly, but it's okay. So today I haven't yet completed my PPT, so I would be sharing my wide screen. So there would be I would be talking and describing about today's topic. So before we go into today's explanation, today's topic, I would like to tell about myself. I am the founder and director of Biozone Academy. It was established in the year 2022. It's situated in Kolkata. It's a coaching academy which definitely coaches students from class 8 to 12, all the science subjects, PCMB, and it also gives coaching for the JEE and NEET aspirants. And we have also a plethora of certification courses, diploma certification courses, bioscience certification courses regarding many subjects like microbiology, plant biotechnology, bioinformatics, and there are all faculties for every departments. So this is about Biozone. And without wasting time, I would like to start today's topic, which is about teaching models. So should I proceed, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just share my screen and just let me know if the screen is visible or not.
Yes, ma'am. Visible, you can
Visible,
continue.
no? Right. So I'll be using a pen tab. So I'll be using it as a just like a classroom whiteboard. Okay. So I hope whoever have joined today's session, and I want to thank them for joining at this time, as definitely I had some issues from that 7 p.m. slot. So thank you for joining today's session. So as today's session says, it's about teaching models. So I hope that here some of the teachers must have joined us. And when we all are teachers in our classroom, we use certain teaching models, correct? So, what are teaching models, first of all? So, teaching models are certain tools that we use to connect with our students in the classroom, correct? And today's, like, I know that everybody is a teacher here, might be budding professor or teacher here. So, everyone is aware of this teaching model. But we need to prioritize our models while we are teaching in a classroom, because when we face in a classroom, it's not about one or two student, it's about 20, 30, 40, or more than that students, right? So every student is special to us, every student is special to a teacher, and they have, like, each of them have certain different characteristics, and as a teacher we have to connect with each of them in the classroom. I hope I'm correct. So that is where the concept of teaching model comes. So if I want to classify though there is a particular classification pattern of these teaching models that we can use in the classroom. So I want to give some knowledge, some attributes about these models. So here we have mainly four different kinds of teaching models. The first one I want to say, it's information processing model. The second one is personal model. The third one is social interaction model. Please let me know if something is not clear or visible as I'm writing on the screen. And the last one is behavioral modification model. Behavioral modification model. So these teaching modules can be divided into these four attributes, four parameters. Right. So taking the first one, if I take the first one, information processing model. So what does this name suggest us? So information processing model is the basic form of a teaching model. So first, when we enter a class, when we have decided about a lesson plan, that this is our lesson plan for today, so we make maybe a note, or we make a PPT, or we make whatever kind of models on a prior hand, right? So what is this information processing model, any teaching tool or any teaching aid that would give an information about the topic we want to deliver to our students in the class. And definitely this particular information processing model will focus on the academic information, not beyond that. Okay, so it can be anything. It can be any animation videos. It can be any notes that we can dictate to them. So any information that will help them to develop their intellectual skills, right? Any hands-on thing, like I, being a science teacher, I myself teach biology in my academy. So I always try to give them some practical knowledge about the theoretical concepts if I'm delivering in the class. So I try them to show them with the help of my microscope or hands-on things, so that it helps them to get inside their mind. Because whenever we are discussing any concept theoretical in the class, no, it definitely becomes monotonous. So why not using certain aids? Why not using projector to show them certain videos, or take them to any practical fields where they can connect with the nature, where they can connect practically whatever they are studying in that four-walled classroom. So these models, like when we talk about information processing model, this is about providing information to the students. Coming to the personal model, now I will be telling about the sub models of all these four models that I will be discussing here. The second is personal model. Personal model is, suppose if there are 20 students in a classroom, there are mixed students, right? So out of 20 might be 10 or 15 are really fast learner, but remaining 5 in that classroom can be slow learner. So being a teacher, I cannot be I cannot be partial to those 15 students, because they are grasping the concept faster, because actually they're making the work of the teacher easier. But what about that rest 5? So I always think that being a teacher, it doesn't, no, a teacher cannot take the credit for teaching those fast learners, because they are fast learners, they will be grasping the concepts at any point of time. But we need to focus them equally on the slow learner. So we need to create certain tools, we need to create certain models, to, so that the particular skill that I am trying to inculcate among the students in the class, so that equally they can grasp the concept just like the fast learners are doing it in the class. Like I want to cite something here. Like I have a lot of ADHD students in my class, and ADHD is certain disorders which it's very common amongst the young students, young kids, young children, right at this point of time. And I can see that ADHD is a symptom, it's a problem related to concentration. Like I can see out of 10 students, if there is one or two ADHD student in the class, they will try to distract the class because they are not doing it deliberately, because that is their problem. They want to grab attention of the teacher from the rest of the students. So in that point of time, what can we do is that we can engage them by asking a certain interesting question. Right. So I'll just give an example here. So, being a science teacher, one day I was explaining the concept of photosynthesis. And we know we have been doing this concept from a very no little age, right? Photosynthesis. So I saw that he was very distracted in he deliberately was trying to grab his attention towards me. So then I asked him a question, that can you tell me why is the color of the leaf green in color? So he gave me an answer that, ma'am, it is due to the chlorophyll. Then I asked him, why chlorophyll? Have you ever thought that why chlorophyll makes the color of the leaf green? Can you tell me? Now, when I asked him this question, he was totally trapped in that question. Means he was totally grabbed by that question that, yes, this answer I don't know. Then he started digging his book, he started studying it in the internet somehow. And actually, he gave me the correct answer at the end of the class. And with that question, I was successful to keep him engaged throughout the class. And what answer he gave me, even I want to share the answer with that, because plant absorbs visible light spectrum, and chlorophyll is a pigment and it perceives that visible light. And basically, in that visible light, we know that we have 7 colors in that spectrum, VIBGYOR. So basically, plant absorbs this blue light and it reflects the adjacent color in the spectrum, which is green, and that is why we see the leaf color to be as green. And he exactly gave me this answer at the end of the class, because he, with full concentration, he was with that question throughout the class and he did not disturb me further. So this is a personal model technique. So personal model means when you can connect with a child one to one, right? And this is, I would say, for some special cases only. Okay, even it helps to create that student's playfulness. It also helps to increase the student's creativity as well. Because if, rather than giving a question to him at that point of time, I would have told him or scolded him that do not disturb the class, you are bothering the class. If I would have used certain harsh words like this, it would have hurt him. Because again, you need to understand as a teacher that he was not doing that deliberately. It is his problem. So we need to see that problem from a different angle and solve the thing in the classroom itself. I hope I'm clear. Next, going to the social interaction model. So social interaction model is very important, and this particular model does not involve any individual attention. So social interaction model is to develop a teamwork amongst the students in the class. So sometimes what I do is, which we can implement definitely in our classrooms, being it a coaching institute, but still I see my coaching as a big university or a school perspective, and I want to inculcate all those qualities in them. So sometimes I conduct quiz contest with the same topic there going in the class, doing in the class. And when I conduct such things in the class, they really get motivated. And quiz means there is a teamwork happening. So in this way, what is happening? And also they get to interact with each other in the class. Otherwise, I see nowadays in the classroom, no one open up to other friends and no one is ready to help others, which is really not acceptable. So I would say that knowledge, teaching, everything is a reciprocal process. even I say that every day I get to learn from my students, because sometimes they ask me certain questions, like it really, uh, bound me to like go through a lot of books, that why I do not know this particular question, answer to this question. So they do make me read books, they do make me read certain journals or something, which I have to get back to them with this thought, right? So that is what, if you exchange knowledge with your friends, with your co-partners, then only you will get enriched. So sometimes I also plan certain small projects for their display. Suppose they are science students. So whatever topics they are studying in their school books, I often, like once in a month or twice in a month, I tell them to make a small hands-on project over that topic. So, for example, in physics, if they're doing gravitation or magnetism, in chemistry, biomolecules, so something on that, I ask them to make models for display. And also, I motivate them that they will be awarded for this particular thing. So, in that way, I have seen some deliberate changes amongst them. And deliberate changes, I mean to say, in their teamwork, in their social interaction. Because whenever they're making certain projects, they need to display, they need to verbally explain the concept to the teachers. Okay, so that is how I try to implement these things amongst them. So, this is kind of a social interaction model. Like, I also conduct certain workshops. So, what happens is still like the school curriculum, if I take, the school curriculum is mainly based on the theoretical knowledge. But once we go to the college and universities, yes, we have a lot of hands on things that are implemented. But till school, we do not get to do these things. So recently, I conducted a forensic workshop with my students, and I got an overwhelming response from them, because they were amazed to know that how these, the fingerprints are uptaken from those crime scenes, and they were really enjoying the sessions. So in a way, I could see that the interaction was built up amongst each and every class. In that workshop, students of class 9 to class 12 participated, and I could see a great bonding amongst all of them, because everyone was helping out each other. So this is a social interaction model. And the last teaching model is behavioral modification model, which I think is the most important part, because behavior is the most important part, and it will reflect on each of these models. So nowadays we see a lot of students with aggressive behavioral pattern. They are very sensitive. So we have to deal with them very cautiously, okay? And it shouldn't be like we should be very much like no towards aggressive towards them as well. A teacher is definitely, a student can be aggressive, but the teacher equally gets aggressive towards the student, then it might ruin the relation of a student and the teacher. So, for that, we need to first tell them about the behavioral modification. Like, we can keep one class per week about the behavioral attitude. Like, we can do this as preparing them for the mock interviews at a later point of time when they are clearing their competitives, or for the college students, like when they're about to give the jobs, how to face an interview, how to greet the no the teachers, the seniors. So in that way they can modify their behavior. Okay, so this is the most crucial, I would say, model for teaching inside the classroom. So now these are the introduction I gave for all the teaching models. Now one by one, I need to tell about some very important sub models under each of them. So coming or starting with the first model I discussed, which is information processing model. So under information processing model, I guess somebody raised hand. Oh no. Yeah. So information processing model, the first model which I discussed. So under this, we have certain sub models. So the first one comes is concept attainment model. Concept attainment model. Inquiry training model. Cognitive growth model. Biological science inquiry model. So these are the main models that we should follow under information processing model. Now coming with concept attainment or concept attaining model, this is a very crucial form of information processing. Now, as what did I say for information processing? That this is the very basic form of academic model, like whichever topic we want to deliver in the class, regarding that when we make a no notes or a lesson plan, that is about the information processing model. So first is the concept attainment model. So this is the basic thing we want to deliver in a class. If they are not cleared by their concept, then definitely they cannot go further. So the on a first priority, we need to inculcate this thing inside them, that what is the basic concept. Like again, coming back to the topic of photosynthesis, why I'm taking photosynthesis, because I guess this topic is being a part of a science topic, this is aware to everyone and everyone can correlate with this particular topic. So wherever I start this topic in the class, photosynthesis, I always say, how many words can you see in this particular one concept, photosynthesis? So I get mixed answers. Somebody says, ma'am, it's a one word only. Someone says, ma'am, there are two words which I can see. So then I ask them, then what two words you can see in this single word photosynthesis? Then somebody says, ma'am, I can see photo, I can see synthesis. So then I start with this particular topic that yes, there are two words in it. And photo is light. And what is synthesis? Synthesis is synthesis of glucose. That means this concept revolves around synthesis of glucose in presence of light. And if this concept, the first beginning of the concept is crystal clear to them, they'll gain that Kickstarter interest for that particular topic or subject, and they will be eager to know more about that concept. So we should prepare something, a model, a catchy model, a concept attainment model specifically for a fresh topic when we are starting in the class. That really helps, I would say. Next is inquiry training model. Now, inquiry training model is kind of like after a topic has been covered in the class, then we face certain doubts or we face certain questions. Like, again, for today's session also, I have kind of prepared an inquiry training model because definitely someone here will be asking me some questions regarding today's topic. And why I have prepared that? Because I know how to face that question or what kind of questions I might get it. So by thinking that, we can frame a particular lesson or a model on that. That is inquiry training model. That what kind of questions I can receive at the end of my session. Next is cognitive growth model. So cognitive growth model is, what is the meaning of cognitive? It's a development, cognitive growth, we say. So cognitive growth model is like nowadays the school boards that we know, which is one is CBSE, another is ICSE boards. So nowadays the question pattern in the school level, the board level, have changed a lot. And we give a particular name to such kind of the questions. We say competency based questions. Now, what are competency based questions? It is a kind of case study based question. So it's not like the earlier that we used to get questions, very flat questions. Like in our times, we used to get questions like, what is the use of gallbladder? Right. And nowadays, the question comes like, what will happen to your body, or what are the consequences you will be facing if the gallbladder is removed from your body? So the concept remains the same, but the framing of question is definitely different. Why? To analyze, to judge the perception of that single student. Okay, so I would say that is a cognitive growth model. So every time when we are entering a classroom with a topic, so after teaching, we must give them a question, a case based question, which can judge their cognitive development status, and they will also enjoy doing that. Okay, so that is how we can improve the cognitive development of the students in the class. So if they are solving question in the class after learning a topic, that will gain confidence for them also. Why? Because they will think that I have completed a topic in the class, and also on the same day, on the very day, I'm able to solve the question from the same topic the teacher has taught in the class. So this is way they can gain a lot of confidence about that particular topic. And the last one is very specific, which is biological science inquiry model. It's not about only biological science. Even if we are teaching or somebody is teaching humanities, it can be humanities, it can be commerce, from anything. So it's a very specific model. So supposedly, if it is for humanities, say the topic is history, so sometimes we can show them some stories, some movie in the projector, and then we can ask them questions based on that movie, because visual aid have always helped the students to memorize things. So why? Because I have been doing a lot of research. I have written books also, like not written books exactly on these models, but I have done. No, I have completed my postgraduate diploma in education administration and management last to last year, and I had to conduct the research on the school students over these creativity, cognitive development. So I could see these things. Like I really conducted these research things on my students by visiting different schools, and my paper has been published like a lot of online platform journals also. So yes, I definitely saw these results very truly. Like whenever we are showing up some visual aids to them, the memorization, the extent of memorization, the longevity of the memorization is definitely very, very high. So these are the parts of information processing models. Now coming to the next model that I discussed, which was personal models. So under personal model that I discussed earlier, we have the first very important awareness training model, classroom meeting model. Okay. So under personal model, we can focus on these very, very important and two most like important personal model, because see, there are various other submodels which I cannot take up in this 1 hour session. So I am just pinpointing the most important models that we can follow in the class. So what is this awareness training model? So awareness is about each student. So this we can conduct, as I gave you the example of that ADHD case. So ADHD, like I cannot choose this awareness training model only for the special cases. So these awareness training models should be for everyone. How? I'll explain you. Like again, when I see in my class that out of that 10 students, that one particular student is really struggling to grab the attention of the teacher in the class, to grab the attention of his friends in the class, I really feel bad. Because again, I'm telling that he is not doing it deliberately. He is not doing it intentionally in the class. So, what I did one day, when he was not there in the class, in his absence, I told my students, I told his fellow batchmates that he is having a problem, and that problem is ADHD. I made them understood about the concept of ADHD, what happens in ADHD, what medications his friend is right now intaking, and he is not very normal like you all. So you need to help your friend. Correct. So that explanation, that awareness, when I spread in the class that day, from then, there was no disturbance in the class. Why? Because the rest students understood that he is having a problem, and every one of them now on help that student to come out of his situation. They help him in every possible way. So that is kind of a personal model or personal awareness training model. And this awareness training is not for the special cases, it's for everyone in the class, every student in the class. And we should do it once in a month. It will definitely help to improve the environment of the classroom. It will help to improve the definitely your teamwork in the classroom as well. Now, classroom meeting model is, I would say, once in a month, or it can be once in a week, as per the situation of the classroom is. We can come out ourselves from that teacher shell and be a friend to them for once a week, for that one day, and ask them about their queries, about their problems. And believe me, this really enhances the relation of that teacher student, because each and every student sees every problem in a different angle, in a different perspective. And again, I would say teacher, being a teacher, their second mother to them, can only help them out from that situation. So this is kind of the thing which we can use for the personal models as sub models. The third concept is, which we discussed, is social interaction model. So under social interaction model, we can have various submodels. The first one that we can use is role playing model. Lab training model. Social simulation model. And another one I'm writing here, lack of space, social enquiry model. Now, taking up the first one, role playing model. Role playing model is it's a kind of a fun model that we can play with them. That is, one day we can tell them to be a teacher in the class and teach a topic in the form of a presentation. And the teacher would be sitting at the back bench. Now, this really help that particular student or each and every student to understand the role of the teacher that a teacher play every day in the class. Because when a particular student becomes a teacher for the day and that particular student is delivering a lecture, that student, he or she understands that how concentration effective to make that networking very strong with their students. And social inquiry model is also like that. Inquiry is like the model says that as a teacher you can put up or build up certain questions for them, like what should they do, like framing the questions and getting the answers from the students itself, like what should you do, like giving them a problem that your senior has given you a deadline for the project and you are not ready with that project, how you can handle the situation. So they have to be given a training on a 360-degree mode. That means not only delivering a bookish language is the work of a successful teacher. A teacher should encourage, a teacher should know, train that particular student on all these aspects which I am talking about right now, using all these models. So a problem solving model. So they will be given a problem. Even I think these competitive exams that we are conducting right now, which is like the medical entrances or the engineering entrances, it's my opinion, after all, like I shouldn't be going to any speculation. It's completely my opinion that there should be some part, some marking scheme, which should be practical based. Because we need to come out of that comfort zone. We means, as a teacher, we need to help those students to come out of their comfort zone, because practical knowledge is the ultimatum. Yes, for the theory, for the basic knowledge, we need to learn it from the book, but the exact thing depends on the practical skills. Next, moving to the behavior modification model, which was our last model. So under behavior modification model that I initially told in my at the beginning, that it's the most important model, and on it and the entire thing is dependent. So under it, the first thing I would like to mention is self-control model, stress reduction model, assertiveness training model, so the first thing which I like to talk about is self-control model, which is a part of behavioral modification model. So behavioral modification, the first concept that we need to tell is self-control. That is very important. How to control? So as a teacher, we need to give a proper guidance to each of our students that how they can self-control them in any situation they are facing. There can be any hardships that can come in their way. So that is way, and this self-control model should be one-on-one. It shouldn't be in a group, because that might affect the self-fullness of one student. So it is kind of a counseling session, we can say, which can be done by an expert, by keeping an expert in that respective academy. So this stress reduction model and self-control model are interrelated kind of, because in a self-control model, that particular person who is counseling that student will be talking about how to reduce the stress of that particular student. Right. And it is very, very important because nowadays we are aware how the things are going on. The students are so much stressed out. They are very sensitive nowadays. Okay. So we need to be very, very conscious about each and every movement of their movement. Okay. And in the self control model, we sometimes might involve the parents of the students as well. So parent counseling is equally very important for the students as well. Okay, because after, like, at the end of the class, after the school or after the coaching, definitely they will be getting back to their niche, and they have to get that comfort. They have to get that motivation from their ultimate niche where they are residing. So the last one is assertiveness training model. So that is what. So they need to know. They need to know that how to react, how to know how they can control themselves in any situation. That is what is. This is a very important model, training model. So how they can get out of something, like nowadays the students are very sensitive about the marks, they are very competitive, and it's not about at the age of 14, 15 years, right from the age of 6 to 7 years they are becoming competitive, so that we have to train them. The ultimatum as a teacher is to deliver a good knowledge, and ultimately as a teacher, what's the no what's the main thing that we want at the end of the day is that your students should gain a good knowledge from you. Yes, evaluation is a part of our curriculum, but we need to see that that particular evaluation doesn't ruin them, doesn't ruin the no that uh, eagerness to learn their knowledge. So we as a teachers, we need to see this thing very clearly. So I would say this is the overview of all the teaching models that I discussed today. And Sir will say that if we have time, or we can directly go to the question answer session if there is anyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And we are very happy that we learn so many teaching models from you, which are developed by you. Being a director of academy, you are keeping the teacher in you is very live, because your research, your papers, your visits, your field work, and the examples which you have given for the classroom students, and depending upon the behavior of the students, you have developed so many teaching models. The teachers, those who are here, they definitely get a new idea from you. They are inspired by you, and
Thank
they
you.
will use this theory in their class also very effectively. So I
Thank
request all the teachers, those who are here, please unmute yourself and discuss with our resource person, madam.
Yeah, you can ask any questions regarding the models which I discussed or anything.
Ravindra Ramatkar sir, who is a teachers training director of Nagpur. Please.
Uh, Sir, it's not possible now because I joined late,
Okay.
so I did not listen, madam. Uh,
Okay, no
it,
problem.
it appears that madam has after your speech, it appears that madam has nicely explained all the topics related to the training models.
Yes, actually,
Congratulations, madam.
I just like summed up. It was a summarization. It's a huge topic. Like it would take a 1 day, 2 day thing. But it's yeah. Somebody raised hand.
If anyone want to ask us, discuss, they can discuss.
Ma'am,
Actually,
good evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Ma'am, can you repeat awareness training model, ma'am, once again?
Awareness training model. Awareness training model is just like, no, I gave that example of that ADHD case, right? Or any special cases. So
Yes, ma'am.
some special cases actually might be there in the class. It's not that every time we find a special case, we find cases of bullying and all. So the explanation that I gave is, one day that particular student was not there in the class, and I explained, because the other remaining his friends or his batchmates were not aware of that particular disease what he was going through. So I explained the concept to them. I explained that what he is going through, so you must be no you must provide all the necessary support to your friend. Okay, so this awareness, that instead of bullying others, instead of make mock of others, you should be no show all the kind of also a respect, and also you should help out that particular student from that situation, by maybe by sharing their notes, by talking to that particular person. Okay, so that he does not feel left out, he does not feel alone. So that is the thing, that should be awareness. So we must awareness model should be like, we need to check the no, environment of the classroom and accordingly plan it out.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir,
It's a nice.
for
Yeah.
your kind information. I have read your message that you for explaining the model double, but
Yes.
till now model that madam was going to teach other models. So I have
Okay.
available to you the YouTube link. You can go detail
Sure, sure,
about
sure.
this link. Please copy this link. Those who are not in group, but those are in group, they can get the today's YouTube link, because everything you should can learn or read from that YouTube link. Thank you.
You,
Anyone
Thank you,
else?
sir.
yeah, if anyone others wants to ask anything.
So it's perfect time, because as
Yeah.
per scheduled time you have finished all the things. But again I request you that which day we have fixed next day for you.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to engage that session also, you are always welcome with new topic or new idea, no problem. Because today you have helped us, because that today's scheduled resource person madam was unable to join. So I was searching to join here and requested you that forms without break this series, because of you only today. Otherwise there was a break in our series today. And
No, 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 no. I won't let that happen, because I always want to share knowledge, and it's not a big deal. So yes, I can definitely join, definitely. But if the timing could have been half an hour late, because generally normally I end my classes around 7. So if it can be from 7:30, not a problem at all.
no, 8 p.m. no problem, it's a flexible time. If someone
Oh,
wants to
acha. Then,
decide.
it's not a problem. I would love to. I would love to.
Thank you
So
madam.
not a big deal.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much once again, sir, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all for joining today. Thanks a lot.
we
It
are
was
hap- we
yeah.
are again
Thank
happy, because from best teacher we have learned so many things today. Thank you ma'am, thank you to you on behalf of all the participants, those who are joined here. Thank you.
thank you so much.